Ram ProMaster City. If you were watching that video closely, you saw the wheel kind of wobble forward and wobble back. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to stay perfectly centered. That's going to be the control arm. So control arms all fail the same way. The insulating rubber around the control arm that attaches to the bolt that goes to the frame deteriorates, and it actually separates and leaves a gap. They all fail that way. Now, the symptoms present different depending on the vehicle. On this vehicle, whenever torque was applied or you hit the brake, you saw it in that opening clip, the wheel actually wobbled forward and backwards. You will feel that in the vehicle as like an extra thump. But not every vehicle does that. I've had one that would just make the noise, clunk, 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 but never present that forward to backward motion there. So if you think you have a control arm failure, jack it up, put it on the jack stands safely, and then look at the rubber insulator. Sometimes you need to take a pry bar and get right up underneath it and add some torque to it, but this one is obvious. That one has gone bad. Now let me show you and tell you what you're going to need in order to replace this. You're going to need a 17mm socket, an 18mm socket, an extension for your impact wrench or your socket wrench, and go ahead and get either open end or one like this, 18mm, so you can go on the bolt here and hold it in place while you break it loose. Now I like to go ahead and get the most difficult one over with first, so the rest of it be easy. Now I'm at the very front of the vehicle, so let me grab the camera. This is going to the bumper, and right back here is an 18mm bolt that attaches to the front of the control arm. So I'm going to get a very long extension because I'm going to use an impact wrench and break that loose. You may not use as long of one if you're just using a socket wrench, but if you got power tools, I highly suggest it. Oh, that came out pretty easy. All right, let's see if I can reach in there and grab it. Yes, it's kind of tight. It needs to come out all the way and just lay it down where you're not going to lose it. Now we're going to go take off the easier ones. By the way, while we're here, I will have to take off this ball joint here for the steering knuckle to the control arm. So I think I'm going to do that one next. The next step I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this bolt right there. I got a 17mm wrench on the bolt end that is facing the bumper. I'm going to put a 17mm socket right there, and then I'm going to just back that nut off, and I may have to tap it out, but once that nut goes off, be able to remove that bolt. Wow, that came out easy. All right, and will it come out? Come on. All right. So that's out. Now, put these together or you're going to kick it and lose it. Okay, looks like we have just one more bolt, and it's this one right over here. Come on. Yay. All right, come out bolt. Hopefully I don't have to move the steering knuckle out of the way, but I will need a pry bar to break the steering control arm loose from the knuckle. So let me grab a pry bar. Just need it to come off. It's trying to. Come out. Come out. I may have to put a jack on this end right here and just lift it up, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it down any lower. So yep, that's exactly what I'm going to have to do. Okay, let's see if this gives us enough clearance. All right, stay right there. Well, there we go. Thankfully, the strut is still attached to the top, so we didn't mess with that. It's not wanting to come off of this ball joint down here. It's all loose from back here, but this ball joint up here on the steering knuckle is just being a pain. I'm going to spray some lubricant up here and then take a hammer to it. All right, give it some persuasion. Ow! There it is. And then we just, there it is. The front of it wasn't bad at all. This wasn't bad, you know, just tired. But this is where the problem was. You notice this whole thing is sitting at a weird angle. That's what a control arm is for. It holds it in place. Now, I wasn't worried about this coming off and hitting me because it was bolted up here. I still had the tie rod attached to it, still had the sway bar link, plus the CV axle was still attached to it. So this is okay. All right, so while you're here, if you look back here, this is where the front of that control arm sat. So just reach in there and go ahead and get all that out. Same for back here, just clean it out. Now, I'm gonna spray lubricant in here because the new ones are normally a really tight fit and you're gonna want some help pushing that in. The new control arm is here. I bought this on Rock Auto. They do not sponsor me, I wish they would. But, you know, it was a good deal. And then here's the new one. Nice fresh rubber. The front looks good too. And it already comes with the ball joint installed. So all we got to do is take that plastic cover off and we're ready to go. So I'm going to spray some lubricant where these two things go, and that way it makes it a little bit easier to install. Now this thing's kind of low. It's not really spraying. Well, something's better than nothing, right? So here we go. Hopefully this won't fight me the whole way. So I've got to angle it up in here. And I'm going to go with this side first, because that's normally the most difficult, because it would just barely fit in there. And yes, there we go. Come on. I'm going to have to get the rubber mallet on this. Definitely. So where's my rubber mallet? Here it is. Rubber mallet, dead blow hammer, and just tap it in. Oh yeah. It's just kind of, see where it's kind of hung up? So I'm going to have to get the pry bar without damaging it and just try to get it, you know, persuaded in there a little bit. Actually, let me, can I take it out? Yes. Come on. Come on. I've had to actually kind of tap this up with a hammer to give it just enough clearance, and that's what I'm going to do right here. Okay, probably going to do a whole lot, but made me feel better. So let's try this again. Get it angled in there. Come on. And see what it is, this is brand spanking new. It's got the full length, it hasn't worn down. So it's gonna get kind of difficult to get in there. Come on, you get in there. So tap, tap, tap. Oh, that's better. Let's see if we can get the front in. Tap the other way. Tap it in. Ah, good. That's still being a pain. So, but since I got the front end, let me go ahead and get that bolt in through the front. So that's where it should be. And then I'll deal with this one. So I'm looking through here, and the worst part of this is lining up the hole with, you know, the other hole. So it looks like it's lined up. No, it's not. See if I can't wiggle this up a bit. Might be able to get a screwdriver in there, a long one, and kind of help it go up. I think I got it right there. There's a hole, and I see some shiny metal, but let's just try to get, I think I can put the bolt through that. Come on. Ah, there. Go ahead and push that all the way through. Let me get a little help. Okay, and then go ahead and get my socket. Now I'm not gonna tighten all the way down on it. I'm just gonna get it started in there so I kind of have some wiggle room till I get the other side in. can tap just lightly. Okay, it's definitely hit another side. I'll go ahead and start turning. And it looks like it's going in. I'm going to just lightly set this on one. Yeah, okay. Oh, hand tight. There. I know it's threading all the way through now. So it's not all the way in. Gives me a little wiggle room. And let me get the most aggravating side in. So the issue is, there's the top hole. Then there's the bottom. This thing is not quite there yet. So I've got to get it up in there. So I'm going to take this extension that's kind of blunt on one end and just tap. All right, almost there. Kind of need to go this way, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it from this. So let me get that bolt and start going. I'm going to have to get a screwdriver, a big one, and kind of wiggle that rubber back where it needs to be. Screwdriver in at the bottom, and just, oh, we got it all the way through. So that's very promising. So let's just try to get it lined up, and might need a little tappy tap from the bottom. Nope, needs a little more than that. Let's try to get it. Need it, help it. Well, come on, you two. There. Just got to mess with it. Go ahead and put the nut on the top. And then get my 18mm wrench here. Get an 18mm at the bottom. And tighten down. Okay, now I just got it. I don't have it torqued all the way. I'm going to go ahead and get the steering knuckle to the ball joint and connect that before I get everything nice and tight. Steering knuckle, and should be able to move this just enough. Well, too much. And all you got to do is just line it up. There we go. Come on. There it goes. And fully seated on there. Go ahead and get my bolt that I took out of there, that I put the nut on already, and run it through like it was. All the way through, and then put the nut on the other side and torque it down. Let me see what the torques are going to be on this. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to find out what the torques are going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and snug them down real good and then torque it. Oh, no, get it back over there. Come on. Go ahead and snug the bolts. You kind of just got there snug, but go ahead and snug them down really good, and then torque them to the right torques. The torque specs for the ProMaster City, all years of it, the subframe bolts, so the control arm to the subframe, the one in the back, the one in the front, 92 foot-pounds is where you want to end up. And then the steering knuckle, this thing, to the control arm, to that ball joint, is 44 foot-pounds. I got 92 set on this one up here in the front. And it's set at 92. And then likewise in the back, get on here. Come on, up there. And it's 92. So now we're going to do the front one at 44. That's a 17mm. And I'll go ahead and turn this down to 44. And oh, already passed it. Foot-pounds. Go to 40. If you need to know how to use a mechanical torque wrench like this, I have a short. So just look it up, how to use a torque wrench. And set this one at the nut to 44 foot-pounds. Just that simple. It's taken me roughly a little bit over a half an hour, and a lot of that was just figuring out what size sockets I'm gonna need. So I ended up needing a pry bar, an 18mm wrench, 18mm socket, 17mm wrench and socket, and then a rubber or dead blow hammer and a really large screwdriver to kind of get those holes lined up. Found this helpful, please subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing. It really helps me out, keeps these things going. Mailman Mechanic, see you at the mailbox.